Welcome to the 6 Feet for Wellbeing show with Health Promotion Services. I'm Christine.
And I'm Christopher.
And today we are going to be discussing how to thrive during finals week.
That's right, Christine. We know this is a stressful time of year. This episode is all about helping you de-stress and manage your current stress levels better.
Exactly. So let's get started with Unmasking Well-Being. Okay, I'm getting frazzled right now.
That's such a hard takeoff. Got too into it. So, as many of you know, finals week is full of projects, tests, studying, and lots of work. Together, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all of these different things.
Absolutely. It is common to feel anxiety and stress about all this work that needs to get done. But if you get too stressed out, you won't function as well, personally or academically.
That's so true. And today we really wanted to share some tips with you and some other techniques to help you focus and de-stress this week.
Yes. So when I talk to students, I often hear them talking about the challenges associated with test anxiety. While we may not be clinical mental health professionals, many of us have experienced feelings of anxiety and stress around test taking or like during the test itself. Luckily, there are some quick and easy practices you can try to help reduce your stress around tests.
Before I go into a test, I always do a few breathing exercises. These help me feel more relaxed, but they also help me feel refreshed and more confident, which those are super helpful things to have during a test.
Oh, absolutely. Could you maybe share a couple of those with us today?
Sure, I would love to. So the first technique I'm going to share with you today is super simple. It can be done almost any time as well. I call this the heart listening technique. If you'd like to try it along with me, we can go ahead and try it now. So if you want to start, just by simply trying to be comfortable. If you're sitting, standing, walking, or whatever, just get a little more comfortable wherever you are. If you're in a safe and welcoming place, you may feel like closing your eyes, but that's up to you. So to begin, just notice your breath and become aware of the simple fact that you are breathing. Your inhales and your exhales. Not trying to alter or change your breathing patterns, just letting yourself breathe naturally. Slowly becoming more aware and more comfortable with each breath. Inhale, aware. Exhale, comfort. Inhaling, aware. Exhaling, comfort. We'll go one more time. Inhale that awareness. Exhaling, feeling that comfort. You're doing great. Keep up this breathing on your own while I describe what to do next. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you're left-handed, use your left hand. But gently place one hand over the area of your heart. Let your other arm just relax. You might notice some tension in your shoulders or neck. Try to help those relax a little bit as well. Inhaling, aware. Exhaling, comfort. Here, try to feel through the palm of your hand. Feel the ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum of your heart beating in your chest. There are no more movements with this technique, so relax in the safety and support of your heartbeat. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Inhale, aware. Exhale, comfort. Our hearts are great teachers to us if we can listen to them. If we're stressed out, our hearts tend to beat a little faster. If we're relaxed, our hearts tend to beat a little slower. The heart listens to the body, and we can listen to our hearts in turn. What is your heart telling you right now? Inhale, aware. Exhale, comfort. How does your beating heart feel under your hand? Inhale, aware. Exhale, comfort. And this place of calming and relaxation is always available to you. All you have to do is listen to your heart. If you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back and join us in the present moment.
That was awesome. My heart told me two things, that was comfortable and that I need a snack.
Gotta listen to your body.
Yeah, listen to your heart. That's what my heart was saying. No, that is awesome though. That is really sort of sets the stage of feeling calmer and feeling your heart beat a little bit slower, like prior to a test. Or like a stressful studying situation, or really anything that you're trying to calm your mind for.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's so simple, it's so effective.
Absolutely. Okay, so do you have another breathing exercise to help relieve stress associated with test taking? Like, what else you got?
I got another really good one for you. I've actually taught this method to a lot of different people, including college students, medical students, and even high school students. And I've got really great feedback from them based off of this technique. And specifically when they've used this during tests, they've given me really great feedback as well.
Yeah.
The next technique is called two-part breathing. It's sometimes also called three-part breathing, but we'll start with the two-part breathing. And if you need some stress relief, we can always transform that into three-part, and it's not a challenging thing to do at all.
Okay. Yeah, so let's give it a try.
All right. So sure, just like before, get in that comfortable and safe position. A lot of these meditations start the same way, breathing exercises, so just make sure you're safe and comfortable. Sitting, standing, lying down, eyes open, eyes closed. None of those details really matter as long as you're feeling comfortable, which really is the most important thing. So for this exercise, it doesn't matter which hand you're going to use. Just simply place one hand over the area of your heart. Once you've done that, place your other hand over the area of your belly. Anywhere on the belly works, but generally the hand is placed directly over the belly button or right above the belly button, so that your pinky finger, this little one, is right above the belly button. Either one is fine. Before we begin, start by just breathing normally, without changing your breath, without changing anything. And all you're doing here is simply noticing the movement of your hands when you breathe in and out. On an inhale, do your hands move upward and outward, making room for your lungs for all that air? On an exhale, do your hands move downward or inward, following the lungs as they contract and push out air? Inhale, noticing your hands. Exhale, just noticing your hands. In your own time, inhale again and exhale again. And now just take a few more normal breaths. We're going to explore this in a little more detail. So next time you inhale, try to breathe into just your upper chest only, up here, so that only your heart hand moves. Your belly hand won't move much here. Your heart hand rising and falling with your breathing pattern. Your belly hand just resting gently. Enjoy a few more breaths here with the upper chest. While you're breathing, just begin to notice how you feel here. Is this the same or any different from the breathing before? Now we're going to try the opposite. On your next inhale, try to breathe only using your belly so that your belly hand is moving when you breathe, your belly hand rising and falling with your breathing pattern, and your heart hand just resting gently. Inhaling that belly hand out. Exhaling back in. While you're here breathing, again, just developing that awareness to see if this feels any different or the same as before compared to the upper chest breathing or to the full body normal breathing. Just noticing. Now let your hands just remain resting gently on your body, but go ahead and breathe normally, not trying to change anything. Now that we've explored 2 areas for breathing, we're going to start the 2-part breathing exercise. You already have 2 hands over 2 areas of your body, and these are the 2 aspects of the 2-part breathing. The purpose of this exercise is to breathe a little more fully and with a little more control. So to do this, our hands will be our guides, and they will work independently but together. This leads to greater focus as well as calming. So let me model how to do this. It isn't complicated, but it's easier to learn if you see it first instead of trying to figure out while you're following along. So to begin, inhale first to the upper chest so that only your heart hand moves up and out. Once you feel the upper chest filling with air, now engage the lower belly and allow that to fill with air as your hands move up and out. Hold that breath for 2 to 3 seconds. Now all you have to do is reverse that process. So on the exhale, start down here. Only the belly hand moves in. Some people like to visualize the belly button sinking all the way back to the spine even. Once all the air has been pushed out of the belly, now engage the upper chest and allow the heart hand to move inward while still having the muscles of the diaphragm engaged through the whole midsection. Once you've completed the exhale in both areas, hold that exhale for 2 to 3 seconds and then begin the next inhale. Heart hand rises, then belly hand, hold, belly hand lowers, then heart hand, hold, and repeat. So let's try that one together. So if you're ready to begin, place one hand over your heart, other one over your belly, and be sure you're comfortable and ready to breathe. Inhale, upper chest, fill it up. Now belly, fill it up, and hold. Exhale, belly only. Push out all that air. Now upper chest. Push out that air and hold. Inhale, chest, belly, hold. Exhale, belly, chest, hold. Inhale, chest, belly, hold. Exhale, belly, chest, hold. Now just breathe normally. Sometimes you can get a little lightheaded with those breaths, so if you need shorter times to hold or shorter breaths, that's completely fine as well.
Awesome. So now that you walked us through the 2 parts, I see that that's pretty simple, but I don't have another hand. And what's another part that I'm breathing into?
That's a really great question, Christine. So sometimes people add a 3rd part here right in the middle. So imagine you had a 3rd invisible hand.
Like put your foot
Yeah,
there.
if that's comfortable, you can try a foot too, or maybe have a friend help. Well, no, you're social distance. Don't have a friend help. Maybe in a few months from now. So imagine that invisible hand is placed on your midsection, halfway between where your hands currently would be. So somewhere here in that middle area. The process is the exact same as 2-part breathing, except that you also breathe into the middle of the chest. So for instance, it would be inhale, upper chest, mid chest, belly, hold. Exhale, belly, mid chest, upper chest, hold, and then just repeat.
Awesome. So how can this be used during a testing or sort of stressful situations?
So usually students that I work with, specifically around tests, will do this technique just before that test starts. This puts
Okay.
them into a nice, calm headspace. Also, students will utilize this technique during the test itself.
Okay.
You know how when you're taking a test, you start to feel anxious, your mind's a little scrambled, and before you might like know that you know that answer, but you just can't think of it because you're worried about the test or the time
Yes.
or whatever that is. The technique here helps calm the mental storm and helps you refocus on that test. I usually recommend anywhere between 30 seconds, 60 seconds, maybe even 90 seconds of breathing, and that tends to be enough. It doesn't need to be a lot of time.
Right. Yeah. No, that's really good to know too, because it obviously doesn't take up too much time because tests are normally timed. So having those shorter that can be impactful is very helpful. So what are some other sort of test taking strategies that a person can try? Maybe if they don't like breathing exercises.
I love this question, and you're absolutely right. These don't work for everyone. Just like we all have different ways of learning and doing things, we all have different ways to relax and
Right.
focus. So if breathing exercises are not your jam, you may enjoy things like self-massage or using pressure points.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh, it is. So the self-massage part is not anything special or hard to do. If you're taking a test and you find that your hand is cramping or your shoulders or neck are tight because of stress, it's okay just to give yourself a little massage.
Mhm.
Help relieve some of that tension. Neck, shoulder, hands, wherever that may be. If you feel less tense, you'll be less tense.
Mm.
And you can enhance this by being sure to include pressure points while you're massaging. So a very easy way to do this massage is to do your hands with the pressure points. So we write a lot during these days, especially at work or school or whatever you're doing, and especially now that much of what we do is virtual and online. We do a lot of typing. So you want to show your hands some love. One pressure point you can explore is one that is present in everything from modern reflexology and acupressure guides to ancient manuals for energy centers throughout the body. So regardless of your opinions regarding energy and healing and things like that, there's something about this particular point in our bodies that has fascinated people for millennia. It goes by many names, but I like to refer it simply as the fleshy area between your thumb and index finger, right here. It's not the cutest name, but it works. So here in this area, it is kind of fleshy. You can just apply some pressure and hold that. You can use your fingertips to massage in small circles, possibly. You can use your thumb to rub the area. Or if you're someone who likes deeper pressure, you can even use your knuckles to get a more intense massage deep into that area. As with any massage, please don't hurt yourself. Listen to your body. Sometimes too much pressure can be a little painful or lead to bruising or soreness, so just listen to your body. But it can be great to relieve stress.
Yeah, this feels great. So I've heard this is good for also like headaches and migraines.
Yes, so traditionally, this is a technique used for headaches, so it may be worth a try if you do experience those a lot. Another great self-massage technique for the hands utilizes the palm of your hand. So you can do all the same motions as before, just over the entire palm. I tend to use my thumb, but any finger really works. This is something that I do all the time. I do it at the dentist when my teeth are being cleaned. I do it while I'm stuck in traffic. I do it during meetings at work. It's just such a portable and easy way to relax, and it really does have a lot of great benefits that you can feel anywhere, anytime. It's just a quick massage.
Wow, no, these are awesome. Thank you for sharing those and walking us
Yeah.
through that. Because these are all super simple that can be used obviously during times of stress or testing too. Like take a quick minute, give yourself a little massage. That's great.
Definitely. It's my pleasure, and I hope this helps you have a successful finals week.
Yes. Okay, so next up, we're going to be busting some common myths we hear about studying with Sun God Says.
Woo-hoo.
So this is a little bit of a science game, if you will. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You're about to find out what Sun God Says.
Oh, this is always such a fun section to have fun times.
True that. Christopher. First myth, you're up. Read it out loud.
First myth. Pulling an all-nighter is not bad when you need to finish an assignment or study for an exam. What do you think? First myth, let's see here. We all know how important getting a good night's sleep is. Can you tell us more about that, Christine?
I would love to. Sleep is important, as we all know. But pulling all-nighters can also be very common. Among students that particularly maybe have a hard time fitting in studying habits into their normal schedule are procrastinators. So sometimes all-nighters can feel like the best and only kind of decision. But what happens after we get sort of a night of sleep? Without a night of sleep, like what happens to us?
Gotcha. So according to the Sleep Foundation, skipping a night of sleep can harm your cognitive functions and negatively impact your mood and overall well-being. The immediate impact is the reduction of your attention span and concentration, making you easily distracted and slowing down your reaction time.
Okay, so going without a night of sleep can interfere with memory. So it can impact your working memory, which is what we use for short-term memory. So pulling an all-nighter, thinking it might help us remember study materials for our morning exam is actually kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, when you're thinking about that short-term memory and you're studying, you're trying to pick up stuff off of a page or a screen and put it in. So if that short-term memory is not working, that's going to be problematic.
Right, no sleep, no sort of cataloging of the short-term memory that you just studied.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Plus, it also seems that like multiple studies have shown that pulling an all-nighter is comparable to being drunk. Research has shown that 24 hours of sleep deprivation is equivalent to someone who has a blood alcohol content, or BAC, of 0.10%.
What? That's way over the legal limit to drink and drive, which is 0.08%. Wow.
Yes, I know. So a lot of cognitive things are happening. The reaction time, exactly what we said earlier.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, moving on to our next myth. There is no harm in taking adderall or ritalin without a prescription.
Let's see. Let's take a gander. So Adderall is a combination of amphetamine and dextroamphetamine, a Schedule II drug, which also shares the same classification as methadone, oxycodone, and fentanyl. So you're hearing some serious drugs sort of in this list.
Yeah.
So these drugs, including Adderall, have a high likelihood of being abused and causing physical and psychological dependence. So the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, collected data from 2015 to about 2010. I'm sure they've collected more since then, and saw that 17,865 more cases in the emergency room as a result of Adderall and Ritalin being used improperly.
Wow. So these drugs are being taken by college students with the goal of helping them study or staying up to complete homework or projects. Numerous studies have actually found an inverse relationship between consuming these drugs and academic success. In other words, they do not improve academic performance. If you're not prescribed these medications, do not take them. They may help you stay up, however, they do not have a positive effect on your academics.
Right, which is kind of seems to be sort of the whole point in taking sort of like Adderall or Ritalin from students' perspective, right? Study aids, things like that. So that myth is a big wah, wah, just like that first one too. Wah, wah. So the next myth that we're kind of seeing is that caffeine consumption, the more caffeine you take, maybe the more helpful it sort of is in academic performance and alertness. So we're going to bust that one right now. So caffeine is the most widely consumed stimulant in the world and highly consumed among college students. So energy drinks, energy shots, caffeine, which I meant to say coffee because we're talking about caffeine, caffeine pills, tea, blah, 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 you name it, right? So those are among the things that are consumed. So if you don't regularly consume caffeine, do not try to drink it to give you a boost before an exam or to help you study. Also, don't consume more than you are used to because caffeine does not affect everyone the same.
That's so true. So research shows that a correlation between perceived stress and energy drink consumption exists, as well as a correlation between energy drink consumption and negatively impact academic performance. Too much caffeine can also cause some jitteriness, nervousness, and it can trigger anxiety-related symptoms, and that's not fun. So if you're consuming more than normal or consuming for the first time, Take caution. It might not be the best idea to try something new for studying right before an exam.
Exactly. So too much caffeine can also actually lead to increased sleepiness. So how this happens is because caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, which capture adenosine and slows down brain activity in preparation for sleep. So that is a good thing. But however, when we're blocking it, adenosine is still being produced during this time. And once the caffeine effects wear off, where yes, they have a half-life, they can stay in your system and impact you for a while, it can be fully absorbed within like 45 minutes of you drinking an energy drink or coffee. So the adenosine, once it's sort of worn off, so it removes itself from that receptor, now the adenosine can latch on, producing sort of those sleepiness effects. So the more caffeine you drink, the more time sort of passes by, where caffeine is now taking up those receptors, more adenosine is being pushed in, which can lead to sort of sleepiness. So as you can imagine, this might not be super helpful before a test or during studying when obviously you're trying to actually be more alert.
Yeah, no, I'm guilty of that myself, but I've had those same symptoms happen to myself.
Absolutely.
Thinking you'll be more prepared, but then showing up and not, and so that can definitely be harmful for your grades. A moderate amount of caffeine can help you with alertness and focus. However, this moderate amount is different for everyone, so don't experiment right before that test.
Absolutely. So in that case, a little bit of caffeine can sort of be helpful, but watch out with too much consumption. It can make sort of symptoms worse and not help you concentrate during those tests or studying.
Yeah, definitely.
All righty. Now we have our next segment. So let's remove some items and put on an item with Triton News.
That's right.
We will give you the 411 on well-being happenings at UCSD.
So,
That's my news voice.
I like your news voice. Every Wednesday at 3 to 4 p.m., CAPS, which is Counseling and Psychological Services, hosts Wellness Wednesday, where they focus on self-care strategies and stress management. This workshop is dialectical behavior and self-compassion based, which means its main goals are to help you develop healthy ways to cope with stress and develop more positive understanding of yourself.
Everybody needs that.
Mm-hmm.
So CAPS also has the iFlourish program, which offers 3 self-guided technology programs that provide evidence-based interventions designed to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. They are desktop, mobile, or tablet friendly. They are free, anonymous, and available exclusively from virtual services to UCSD students. You can sign up using your UCSD email at caps.ucsd.edu /or /. Is that forward or black? /iFlourish.
I only got 2 options. We'll figure it out.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
/.
CAPS is also offering relaxation skills every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. with Dr. Scott Hansen. It's an hour of learning basic relaxation skills that will help you deal with daily anxiety. You'll learn practical exercises that you can immediately apply to manage and reduce your stress.
Oh, so good. So good. So helpful. So tune in this Friday. Check that out.
Yes, and don't forget to also stay active during this time. Get your body moving not only helps you get that boost of energy you may need, but it also helps you to take breaks in between studying. You can check out YouTube videos from UCSD Recreation for things like yoga and more meditation. You can also sign up for a Rec Live Pass with Recreation's The Playground.
Love it. Love all of those things that we talked about today.
Yes.
So we wish you all of the best luck on finals.
Stay healthy out there.
Be well.
Keep tuning in
And see you next week, Tritons.